Hi, I'm Pastor Kurt, and this is your 5-minute Bible study. Today, we're going to look at Acts chapter 8, verses 26 through 40. This is the story of Philip and the Ethiopian eunuch. This is a great little scene. You might be familiar with this scene, you might not be familiar with this scene, but it's a great little story in and of itself. So here's how it goes. This Ethiopian guy, he's someone with power and authority. He's basically a CFO. He's in charge of a queen's finances. So he's this very powerful, important guy. And he's riding along in his chariot, reading from the prophet Isaiah. But he doesn't quite understand what he's reading. Well, then the Holy Spirit kind of whispers to Philip, be like, you see that chariot over there? There's a guy in there who's reading the prophet, but he doesn't know what it means. Go over there and help him. Well, then Philip runs over to the chariot and kind of throws himself on it. So don't think of it like this chariot going down the road and then Philip kind of running beside it to keep up. No, he runs and he kind of jumps and holds on to the chariot. And then he kind of peeks in the window and says like, hello, what you reading there? Right, that's kind of a weird introduction. Right, here's this guy just trying to mind his own business and read Isaiah when this weird guy kind of pops his head in your window and be like, hello, what's going on? What are you reading there? Okay, but just go with the story. This Ethiopian guy tells Philip, here's what I'm reading. And we hear this passage from Isaiah. And he's like, but I don't know what it means. It is the prophet talking about himself or somebody else. Philip says, I can help you with that. He hops in the chariot and he starts telling this guy about Jesus. He says that this passage from Isaiah connects to Jesus. Well, they ride along for a little bit and he tells this guy about Jesus a little bit, talks about baptism, why baptism is important, and they come upon this little bit of water. And the Ethiopian guy says, here's some water. What's to prevent me from being baptized? Right, it's kind of a rhetorical question, meaning nothing, right? Because there's water. And so Philip baptizes the guy. It's a great little scene. But there are some things to notice here. In particular, his question at the end. What's to prevent me from being baptized? Well, there's a lot of things at the time that could have prevented him from being baptized. Namely, that he's this foreigner. He's this Ethiopian guy. He's kind of like not somebody that the everyday person would relate to. Not somebody that Philip would normally hang out with. Not somebody that society would normally accept and welcome. So he's got a lot of things going against him. But he says, what's to prevent me from being baptized? And the answer is nothing. Nothing can prevent this guy from being baptized. Philip's just been telling him about Jesus. He's been educating him, to kind of use a fancy word. It's the catechumen. He's been helping him learn and prepare for his baptism. And then he's baptized, right? This is a reminder that there is no reason that anybody should be prevented from being baptized. We tell them about Jesus. We open the scriptures to them. We tell them the good news. And then we celebrate that they're baptized. Now, of course, sometimes today, we flip that around. We reverse the order. We baptize them and then we teach them. And that's okay too. Think about when infants are baptized, right? The parents bring them. The sponsors are there to support them. We baptize this child. We celebrate the new life this child has given them. And then we spend the rest of that child's life teaching them about what it means to be a child of God. And that's okay too. This child has received the Holy Spirit. This child's been given new life. Now you got to learn what it means. In the book of Acts, we see lots of talk about baptism. We see lots of talk about the Holy Spirit. And even in the book of Acts, it's unclear which comes first, whether it's the Holy Spirit or whether it's baptism. And in a way, it doesn't really matter because they both go together. So whether you're an adult who's never been baptized before and somebody's teaching you about Jesus, like Philip was teaching this guy in the chariot, and then you're baptized, that's great. Or if you're baptized as a child and then somebody teaches you what it means to be a child of God and help you live out your discipleship, that's great too. As we see throughout the book of Acts, these two go together, Holy Spirit and baptism. And in a way, it doesn't really matter which order. In this particular scene, it's just that the education and the Holy Spirit comes first, and then the guy gets baptized. But whatever the case is, all of us can be baptized, and all of us can grow in our relationship with Jesus, just like this Ethiopian guy did because of Philip. There's your 5-minute Bible study. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.